Welcome to No Tooth Tony Interviews. The purpose of this channel is to give women a chance to share their voice without any judgment. Please respect all of the guests featured on my show. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. Alright, so today we have Miss Sharon Clawson, and she's a new guest on my show. Miss Sharon is. Before we start, I would like to tell you thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to have you on my show. It's an honor to have you here. I really love the work that you're doing right now, and uh, you're awesome. I just want you to know that. So yeah, just keep doing your thing. Well, yes. For everybody else, Miss Sharon Clawson, she's a body advocator. She's a content creator. She's a curve model, and she's also a part of the Between and Stats talent agency. Yeah, Miss Clausen, I would like to tell you thank you again for coming on my show. Can you please introduce yourself?
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. I don't get asked to do this kind of thing a lot, so it's like a great opportunity, and I always love talking to people, so thank you. But yes, my name is Sharon. I am currently in Hollywood, but I was originally from Sacramento, California, born and raised. Things have just been so hectic within the past year alone. I'm like, I don't even know where to start right now, but just very grateful for it all and grateful to be here.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so my first question for you is, how long have you been a uh, body advocator?
Ooh, when I think back to it, so being a body advocate along with being a model, when I think back to it, it was it's going to be 4 years now. It's going to be 4 years approaching, and I just realized it was something that was so needed because one of my biggest inspirations, Ashley Graham, she came out with this amazing TED Talk. Is after I watched it where I felt like had I had that when I was younger, I wouldn't have hated myself and my body so much. So I really felt like seeing her, I was like, if she can do it, so can I. And not just that, but culturally, like being a woman of color and just the pressures of like having to lose weight, the pressures of like if you don't, like you're not going to find a man, which, just kind of made me think like, oh, I need someone. But ever since, watching that, I just started to really embody the message that she was putting out there. So giving myself affirmations, encouraging other women to go after their dreams, and realizing, like, yeah, it's not going to be easy, but also going to be so worth it. And imagining how it's going to make other women feel. Like, that's exactly why I did that. Because the way Ashley made me feel, I want to make other women feel good about themselves. And had I had her when I was younger, I just would have felt so much better about myself. But yeah, it's going to be approaching 4 years. Yeah, it's been a journey and it still is. But 4 years, it's so crazy to think that much time's already gone by.
That's awesome. Um, what have been three of your most favorite, well, three of some of your most favorite memories so far being a body advocate in these four
God,
years? Because this 4 years is a long time. I want to say congratulations. That's a long time. I know you had
thank
a lot of
you.
fun. That's awesome. That's
So
awesome.
much fun. The fun, the challenges, but the challenges really make me into who I am. As probably corny as that sounds, but like I'm grateful for it all because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have gotten the thicker skin that I do now. So embracing the challenges, embracing the wins. But if I had to pick three, one of my recent favorites, and this was such a moment because it was not expected. I did a campaign for Fabletics, and little did I know that the marketing was going to be up in stores. And so I remember calling the day. I was like, you know what? I don't know why I have a feeling about this, but I'm going to call. And so I called the store in Topanga and I was like, hi, like, I just wanted to ask if you came out with your loungewear campaign and if the marketing was up. Right when they said yes, I had two of my closest friends come with me. I'm like, bet we got to go see this. And just like, when they said the marketing's up, that could mean anything. So I didn't know like what to expect when I walked in. So when I did, my friend Jonathan, he saw my picture before I did and he pointed it out. And right when I did, my friend Mandy and I, we freaked out like, oh my God, it's actually out. So that was definitely a moment because being a curvier model and seeing, not just being curvy, but also a brown girl up in just like an athletic wear store and like a brand that really embodies all bodies, it's just, it didn't feel real. So that was definitely like a moment for me. And plus, my best friend back home was able to take my parents to see it up in stores in our hometown. And my mom was just like, wow, this is what
Cool.
you're doing.
That's
And I'm
cool.
like, yeah, it was such a moment, especially, coming from a background where that's like, it's not typical to be a model. So for my mom to see that, she was like, okay, I see what you're doing. That was definitely one of my favorite moments. But if I had to pick two more, I think Sports Illustrated Swim Search is another one, just because I've met so many incredible people, and you meet different kinds of women, like shapes, sizes, colors from all walks of life, and you hear just amazing women with their stories and where they came from. And like when you meet these people in Swim Search, it's like, oh my God, who have the same vision as you and want to accomplish like really similar things. It's like, okay, I'm not alone. Like this is really cool that I get to experience this with such empowering people. So I love doing the SI Swim Search every year. And the third, oh man, I think the third would have to be just like moving my life here. Although it's not like, to do with modeling, but it's just taking that leap of faith. It was really tough because I had my doubts, I had my fears, I had thoughts in the back of my head like, I've been in nursing for 4 years. I'm ditching all of that for this brand new career. I'm just taking this chance, but I'm really happy I did it. And 4 years later, here I am.
That's awesome. Um, my next question for you is, how long have you been with Stets, and how long have you been with between the talent agencies?
Ooh, so
Well,
it's
not how long, but what?
yeah.
How did you get involved in it? How did you get involved with them?
So it's so crazy because Stutz is originally, both of my agents are originally based in New York, and Stutz only, at the time when they first reached out to me a couple years ago, they were only based in New York. And so they're like, oh, we're sorry, like we wish you were here. And I'm like, no worries, like it's fine. So they started developing their LA division. Also, my Between family started developing their LA division. So it wasn't until a little over a year ago, I want to say, I'm with Stutz. And it's been great. Like both agencies, I really feel like I get taken care of. They're just great people to work with. But the Between, I've been with the Between since December last year. It's going to be almost a year with them, and been the most beautiful journey, meeting the most beautiful people. And this is what I have to say about the Between. When I look at their roster, it is like pure inclusivity. Like you see all kinds of women and you don't see like the typical model type of girls, but they're just incredible to where they want to get work for all their girls. They want their girls to be seen. They want everybody to feel represented. Like they don't also hold their girls to having to stay within certain measurements because there are some agencies that will have to, if you gain a few inches, contracts over. Like they kind of just get rid of you because they have you for your measurements. But for the Between, they don't hold you to a strict diet. They don't hold you to any kind of standard. They understand bodies fluctuate, and especially like during quarantine, that's like a really hard time as well. So they totally get that and they're like, that's fine. Just we still get you work. And they're really great about it. So I love the brands that they work with. I've worked with some incredible clients and with Stets as well. Like they're definitely not strict to having measurements. They'll keep them updated for sure, but definitely not strict about them as well.
Awesome. That's awesome. My next question for you is, okay, can you talk about the podcast that you did?
With jazz.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh man, so it's been months ago. Is there anything from that podcast you'd want to know? Because it's been some time and I remember it pretty vaguely, but
I want to know the shirt that you had. Was it Metallica? Did you have Metallica?
yes! Wait,
That's
is that what you
awesome.
saw on the chair?
No, no, in the interview.
Oh my God. Okay, so the one that's probably on the chair is the same shirt. No, I know. That's a different Metallica shirt, but yes, they're one of my favorite bands. I love
That's
Metallica.
awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Um, my next question for you is, what is your zodiac sign?
Can you guess?
Um, I don't know. I might be wrong. Is it a Leo?
I'm a Leo moon. I'm a
Oh
Leo
man.
moon.
Oh man.
Do you know about the sun, the moon, and the rising?
I know a little bit.
A
I
little
know a
bit?
little
Okay.
bit. Um, man, I thought you were a Leo.
Are you a Leo?
No, I'm not.
I
Are
was gonna say, because you're so chill, like I wouldn't have even guessed Leo.
not at all. Are you
Are you
a?
are
Oh,
you a Taurus?
no, I'm not a Taurus either.
Okay.
Are you a Capricorn?
No, not a
Mm.
Cap. It's okay. Nobody ever really guesses my sign.
Oh man, man, it's a lot of them. I can guess. I can keep guessing. We can. Are you a Gemini?
I am a
I got
Gemini.
it. That's cool.
Oh,
All right, so you're a Gemini sun and
yes.
you're a Leo moon,
And
and
I'm a Scorpio rising.
that's awesome. Scorpio rising.
Yes.
All right, so um, my next question for you is, what is your favorite color?
It would have to be tied between like a champagne pink and blue.
Do,
Between the two.
do you have a favorite number?
Six.
Has six always been your favorite number?
Not when I was younger, just because my grandma, she would say, "Oh, six is the devil's number. Like, why would you even? Don't even." So I grew up thinking like eight had to be my favorite number because it was her favorite number and it was the lucky number in the household. But like as I got older, I was like something about six, and then later I found out it's actually my life path number. I'm like, that makes sense. Like that's why I like six all these years. So,
All right, so that's awesome. Um, what are your five favorite foods?
so hard. Ah,
You can say three if you would like. What are your three favorite?
okay. Honestly, like I love Thai food, Mexican food, Indian food. Those are like my top three. And it's like, especially like living in LA and being vegan, I have such easy access to getting it vegan. Very grateful for it. So I'm just like, you know what? If I want some like vegan Mexican food, there's a place right there. Vegan Thai food, right there. Then vegan Indian food, like just a few blocks away. So I feel like I'm in the heart of it all. So the accessibility is insane.
Awesome. That's awesome. Um, what are your three favorite restaurants?
Oh my gosh, three favorite restaurants. Oh man. So there is one vegan place here that is like my absolute favorite, and it's called Floor, and it's over in Silver Lake. All vegan. The people there are so incredibly nice. They have vegan carrot cake. The bombest vegan carrot cake. My God. Hmm. Mm. I also love Cafe Gratitude and right. So Floor, Cafe Gratitude, and oh man. That's
That
hard. I can't think of a
that's okay.
third.
That's okay. That's okay. Um, If you could visit three countries, what countries would they be?
Sri Lanka, Thailand, and Australia.
Would you rather go into space or deep sea diving?
Space.
What would you like to see in space?
I would just want to see, like, I already know, but I just want to see, like, how tiny this world is. I want to see, like, how, just like how space is just, I know, like, at the bottom of the sea, it's like the same case where it's so much bigger than us, but I feel like from space, we could just see, like, everything is just so much bigger than us, and there's so much more to life than this planet. And when I say that this is a small world, like I stand by that because it really is a small world. Like we're just a little speck compared to everything else.
Right. That's how I feel.
Hmm.
um, what are your three favorite animals?
Dogs. Um, I love elephants, and I love pandas.
Pandas.
Hmm.
Awesome.
They're so cute.
Alright.
They're so cuddly looking. I don't know.
My next question for you is, do you have any pets?
I do. So I have two beautiful fur babies. They're sleeping on my bed right now. They're, fun fact, father and daughter. So the dad's name, his name is Pogi. He's 5. I've had them both since they were puppies. And little Miss Kakita, she's gonna be 4 in December.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, my next question for you is, what are your three favorite drinks?
I love a good oat milk matcha latte. I love when I can find a vegan horchata, it is amazing. And I also love, hmm, does an energy drink count?
Mm-hmm.
I might be saying this wrong, but The Rock has a really fire energy drink called Zoa.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Like it's just really good. So I've had to pick 3
That's awesome.
as I
Um,
drink my water.
do you like to go shopping?
I used to. I used to love shopping for clothes. I used to love putting outfits together. I used to, but now I'm like, clothes? And it's so funny because, of like the work that I do. And I think it's because I'm always surrounded by clothes and I'm very blessed. Like, I haven't had to buy clothes in a long time because I get sent stuff from brands. So, shopping is like, but grocery shopping, that's a whole other thing. I love doing groceries. And my friend Mandy, she actually had the perfect way of saying it. And I love shopping with her. We would go in and she would say, it's styling, but with food. Because I normally cook up the same stuff all the time because it's easy. I just throw stuff together. But she's just so creative with like different snacks and meals. Like when I go with her, I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't even know like you could do one snack she put me onto that I absolutely love. Dates with peanut butter and drizzle them with maple syrup.
Mm,
Immaculate. Like that's probably one of my new favorite snacks thanks to her. So I would definitely say grocery shopping, yes, but clothing shopping, not so much anymore.
that's awesome. Do you have a specific grocery routine?
Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is my go-to place. And plus, I'm blessed to have one just literally a couple blocks away. So going there, and when I do, I always have to opt for spinach. I always have to get spinach. And it sucks because every time I do, I throw away at least a little bit because I end up not finishing my spinach. So I always have to go for that. I make sure I always get some dates. And as for vegetables, I get majority of them frozen just because I know myself and I know like I'm not gonna be able to use it within like a week. So I make sure to get them frozen so I can make them last a while.
Mm-hmm.
I do stick with some staple things. Like I have to have nutritional yeast. That's such a game changer, especially when you're vegan. Uh, what else? Trader Joe's has these amazing habanero peppers in a jar in olive oil. If you can handle spicy, I highly recommend. Will absolutely change your food.
That's awesome. That's cool. I want to try it now.
Oh my God, you should. If I come up with a list of Trader Joe things, like I'll send them your way.
Please do that. Please do.
I got you.
All right. So, Miss Sharon, my next question for you is, what are your plans for the next 5 years, and what are your plans for the next 10 years?
My plans for the next 5 years. I was recently asked this, and my first thought, I really want to come out with a swim line, and I want to be the first model of my size and of my ethnicity in Sports Illustrated. I want to continue building my platform to allow other women to have their voices heard because I want to come to a point where I'd like to have my own podcast and have a big enough platform, kind of like, how Ashley Graham has Pretty Big Deal and she brings on like these incredible people
That's
on her
awesome.
podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, I would love to just like let other women like be able to speak on my platform. And yeah, I still want to be modeling in 5 years. As for 10 years, I might not even be in LA in 10 years. Like in the next 5 years, yes, I do see myself in LA. But in 10 years, traveling internationally, uh, booking like some other dream brands in the next 10 years. I don't, if I see myself with a family, it's going to be with more dogs. I would probably add to the two that I have now. Hmm. I, wow, in the next 10 years. Because I was having this conversation with a friend of mine not too long ago where I see myself like, I want to be able to work so hard now and in the next 5 and 10 years that I can retire by the time I'm 40 or 45.
For real.
That's like the dream. That's the goal. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
So that's awesome. My next question for you is, when I'm gonna say this about you, like vlogging and podcasts. If you need any help, please let me know. I'll help
Yeah.
you out as much as I can. It's I think it's very simple. I mean, as long as you have a laptop. Well, if you have a laptop, you could do it off your phone too. But if you need any help, just let me know.
I
Um,
appreciate that. Thank you. I need a new laptop actually. Mine is a total dinosaur. I've had that thing for over a decade and it's just down the dump. Like I don't even know why I still have it.
for real. All right, well, it's okay from your phone too. Just let me know. All right, so Miss Sharon, my next question for you is, what are your plans for the next 10 years?
For the next 10 years. Something I've really thought hard about, and I think what really inspired me is like my current agents at the Between. I would love to have my own modeling agency in the future. Like, I would love to be able to recruit girls and to be able to educate them about the industry and to make them feel like at home and comfortable in an environment. Because sometimes you get thrown into situations where you're like, what the fuck did I just get myself into? So I just definitely want to be able to educate my girls. And I really feel like with the Between, they've done that for me. They've really held, like, I feel like a mom, because they are my mother agency, like a mom, they've like held my hand through a lot of things. And whether I have questions, like they're always willing to answer, they're always willing to educate me and never put any kind of pressure on me. They've been amazing. And I want to be able to do that for like the next generation of girls who want to pursue the same dream. And because I didn't think that was attainable. I didn't think that was possible when I was a kid. I just never thought like I had the body. I never thought I had the height. I just never thought I had it as much as I wanted to do it. Like I was just like, it's not going to happen. But like with things constantly changing, I would definitely want to open doors and opportunities for other girls as well.
That's awesome. Um, Shoot, I would like to say I really do like what your two agencies are doing between insteads. How it's like everybody look like there's not just one specific figure of the world. Like everybody look different, you know, and it's
Mhm.
like those agencies are very diverse, and that looks very good. I like what y'all doing. Um, I support it 100%. All right, so my next question for you is, um, do you have any hidden talents?
Hidden talents. Okay, I wouldn't say it's a hidden talent, but if you get me to laugh hard enough, I could either turn my laugh into a whistle, like it starts coming out as a whistle, or I sound like a Windex bottle because I actually cackle. So it can go either or. So not a hidden talent, but a fun fact.
That's awesome. I don't do the whistling part, but I have that hidden talent too. A fun fact too. I'm like
What's your hidden talent?
Windex bottle.
Oh my God. And I've noticed my mom does it too. Like whenever I get a good laugh out of her, I'm just like, okay, now it runs in the family. Like I see where I get it from.
That's awesome. You gonna know when I think something really funny, for real. Um, my next question for you is, what is your message to the future generation of women?
My message to the future generation of women would have to be if you have a dream, go for it. Don't let anybody take it away from you. Just be yourself. Be authentically yourself and go after whatever you want because I've been told no majority of my life, whether it was teachers who told me, Sharon, you have such a pretty face, don't let your body ruin it. Or had I been pressured by my mom and my grandma, although out of love, I didn't see it at the time, like pressuring me to lose weight, take all these crazy teas and pills, like saying if I wanted to be a model or if I wanted to, get in this industry, I would have to lose weight and being constantly under pressure. Although when I was younger, I did succumb to it, but coming to realize I don't need to be a certain standard. Like I can just be myself and still be successful. I would tell girls to just go for their dreams. As long as they want to do it, just believe in yourself.
That's a great answer. Um, I'm gonna say, like, I understand exactly what you're saying. I feel sorry for the women of the past because, like, not even just a few years ago, like it used to be really bad on women. Like there used to be standards like that where if you didn't look a certain type of way, there's no way you can do anything. But nowadays, like, man, it's a lot of companies out here, such as Stats in between, that are accepting any type of woman. Like, it's I feel like now the modeling is about your character, like how much a company likes the way you carry yourself versus the way you look. Like, is if you that's why I'm saying, like, about you, you work with two different companies, like both of them, they must love you, like that's awesome, like that's so cool.
They're both a dream to work with. Like I just love them so much. And the fact that they took a chance on me in this crazy industry, it still blows my mind. And they really believed in me, still do. And to be where I'm at now. And there's just so much more to go, but to be in a place right now, it's still something I couldn't even fathom 2 years ago, even let alone a year ago.
That's awesome. um my next question for you is, what would you like to tell your future self 20 years from now?
To tell my futures. I had never been asked that. That's so interesting. If I had to tell my future self something, I would tell her, damn girl, I can't believe you doubted yourself. Like, look at you now, the rich, cool auntie who just wants to spoil her nieces and nephews. Here you are. You didn't think
Hmm.
you'd be in this place in your life. You didn't think you were gonna accomplish all these things. Now look at you. You a bad bitch. That's what I look.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's that's a great answer.
Thank you.
My next question for you is, are there any shout outs that you would like to make to your friends or to your family?
So besides my mom, I love her so freaking much. And although we'd been through a lot of tough things, it's made our relationship as strong as it is now. Like this is probably the best it had been in years, even during my childhood. So to be able to have that is amazing. I want to give a huge shout out to my best friend, Sarah Yobi. I love you, Queen. Gosh, like I mentioned earlier, we'd been best friends for it's gonna be 7 years. It's pretty freaking close to 7 years. And last year was really tough for me. I was going through this crazy transition, working insane night shifts, 50 to 60-hour graveyard shifts to keep my days open for in case I did book work and just like getting all the work in. She really got me through a lot of my stuff, a lot of my doubts, and like moving on my own. Like Sarah has really been there for me through it all. So Sarah, if you see this, I love you, girl. Thank you so much for everything and for still being there for me. I want to give a huge shout out to the Between and Stets. Like they both really believed in me and took a chance on me because I've been told no, like I can't even tell you how many times by so many agencies. Like told no, which I'm very grateful for the no's because it led me to where I'm supposed to be now. So it's just so crazy to think like, wow, there really are people who believe in me and what I'm doing and see like so much potential in me and to take that chance. So to the Between, to Stets, thank you guys so much. And to all of my close friends and people that I've met along this journey, like I can't even name names right now because I just meet so many amazing people all the time. So for those who just like keep me grounded, remind me that I am so capable and that I am worthy of anything that I want to achieve. Thank you. And a huge thank you to Ashley Graham because she inspired me to want to pursue this dream. Like she had been so supportive, whether it was like through the occasional DM, whether it's like through comments here and there. Like she saw me, she saw what I was doing, and she was just like, she would say like, "I'm ready for you." So that definitely kept me pushing as well. Yeah,
Shout out Miss Ashley.
thank you, Ashley Graham. Which is funny, I actually have her book right here. And I've read it 3 times. I was gonna start a fourth, but I just like never got around to it. It is A New Model by Ashley Graham.
Oh, okay. So, can you give me like a brief summary? Like,
It's been a long time, but I think I can. So with A New Model, she really goes into her journey of like when she first started, growing up in her hometown in Nebraska. She just like is so open and honest and genuine about like how she didn't want to be considered like the difficult model. She just talks about her journey of like being herself and being in the position that she's in now and like the different things she would always get told in the industry. And now look at her, this multifaceted queen who doesn't just model but does literally everything. So she's my inspiration for not just being a model but businesswoman as well.
that's awesome. Shout out Miss Ashley.
Miss Ashley.
Um, okay. So, oh, okay. In the book, do you remember one of your favorite chapters in it?
Ooh, I hadn't read it in a couple years, but if it had to be a certain part, I think it was when she really got into the affirmations she would tell herself. Because that's what really gets me through my days. Like you'll see behind me, I have mirrors. And those are actually doors to get into my closet. And on my mirrors, I change the affirmations either every week or every other week, whether I feel like the affirmations resonate with me for the week or not. Like I change it if I need something new. But like that really got me through, like reminding myself, like I am great and I shouldn't be doubting myself. But for her, hers are I am bold, I am brilliant, I am beautiful. And those are just so perfectly said, so simple but so perfect to remind herself like, yeah, I'm great and I shouldn't let anybody tell me otherwise. So I think affirmations are like a huge part of my journey to remind myself I'm capable. And like why any outside noise change that?
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. Um, my next question for you is, what did your parents teach you as a child that you were trying to like? Okay, what did your parents teach you as a child that you were trying to like? I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I know, man. Give me a second.
Take your time.
Yeah, like I got what I want to. I know I want to say, but I don't know how I want to say it because I. Mm,
Are you asking
that
if
you
my
were like.
parents?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm asking like, what did your parents teach you? Like, what are some childhood like lessons that you learned that you see yourself learn like doing every day now? You know, I'll give you an example. Like, whenever I was younger, my parents used to always say like, they said, I get this one example. All right, so when you get older, you're not going. Oh man, I have so many examples. All right, so here's an example. All right, so all right, every morning you need to make your bed. You know, so like I see myself making my bed every morning. Like I always, I don't know, you know. So yeah, what are some things your parents taught you as a child that you were trying to like keep your installed in yourself every day as you live your adult life?
Ooh, so kind of like a routine.
Like a
Hmm.
routine, like a routine. That's it.
Routine.
That's what I should
I
have said.
think no, it's all good. So I think like so a lot of my values definitely came from my grandma because when it came to like my morals and beliefs like growing up, like she definitely taught my brother and I majority of what I knew. But I would have to say like if anything that stuck with me, it was to not worry about what other people said because she said it in such a way where she was just like the kids at school because I would get made fun of for bringing like ethnic food. Like I would bring curry to school, I would bring like things kids didn't know about, and I would get told like my stuff was gross or if my skirt was too short because I went to Catholic school as a kid. So if my skirt was too short, if my skirt was too long, if I didn't shave my legs, and because like I was a bigger kid, like just all these different things. And so like I would even skip days I didn't want to go to school because there would be teachers who were not nice either. And so I would just like, Grandma, I don't want to wear this skirt. I got made fun of because it's too short, too long, whatever. And my grandma would always tell me, like, why are you worried about what the kids say? They don't pay your bills. They're not the reason why you go to school. Like, don't worry about it. And I was just like, okay. And at the time as a kid, like, it was really hard to grasp, but now I see what grandma means. Like, it's not something to worry about. And I get it. Like we're human and it's really hard. Sometimes we get let comments get to us and I until this day, like as thick of skin as I do have, there are some comments that do hurt. You know, and it's just like it's a part of what comes with what I do, but at the end of the day, like it none of it really matters.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. That was a great answer. I'm sorry that you had to go through all that, and I'm sorry. That's messed up. Even down to your teachers, like that's not okay. I don't condone that at
I
all.
just I just really hope that, you know, with me being able to talk about it, that teachers now are aware of the things that they say to kids because, you know, school is the second home. Like besides like your first home, we spend a majority of our childhood in school, like with the kids that we hang out with or teachers, and like they influence us. We look up to them. So to have like, you know, teachers, there's one who told me in front of the class for no reason, Sharon, you need to lose weight. And I remember once in seventh grade, we have a food in our culture more like a snack, and it's called muruku. Whenever I was with my grandma, we would get together and make it whenever she was in the mood to, and I would bring it to school, offer it to kids. Nobody really wanted it because they didn't know what it was, which is fine. I remember once offering it to my teacher, and she asked me, Sharon, is that deep fried? And I said, yeah, it's deep fried. And she took it away from me, threw it away in front of my face, and said, you don't need this. And I was like, okay. So I just, when I think back to experiences like that, like one, I'm 25 now and I still think about those things, you know, like dang, like how messed up that was. But I hope like me being able to say these things, like hopefully teachers do come across what I'm saying because it can really affect kids and really make them feel bad for things that, you know, weren't their fault or if I'm even wording that right. But I just hope now teachers are like more aware of the things that they do say to kids because kids really do look up to them, whether they know that or not.
Absolutely. I agree. 100%. I agree. Um, my next question for you is, to the people who don't know about Miss Sharon, what are some things that you would like people to know about you?
Some things people would like to know about me. Man, that's such a good question. I don't know. I feel like for the most part, I'm pretty open on my social media. I'm like, yeah, there's still a lot that I don't put out there, but for the most part, say like we're friends and we're hanging out, like I feel like I'm pretty open as to who I am. If I had to pick something, I love metal music. I love
Metallica.
metal. Metallica, Disturbed, Five Finger Death Punch. There's a band in LA I used to be a huge fan of, Bad Wolves. Not metal, but like Evanescence is super sick. I love Evanescence. Um, I have some other bands, but like those are like my main ones.
That's awesome.
But
What are Okay, so I like Metallica too. So what are your three favorite Metallica songs?
Nothing Else Matters. For Whom the Bell Tolls, and I love The Memory Remains.
I like Nothing Else Matters, The Memory Remains, and One. I like One.
Ah,
I
classic.
like
Yes,
One.
the one is really good too. Yes,
I
yes,
first
yes,
found
yes.
out about Metallica. I had Guitar Hero when I was like in sixth grade or seventh grade. I've been hooked on that song ever since. All right, so
What you've been hooked on one for?
one since I was in like
Oh,
seventh grade off of Guitar Hero.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my God, how cool! And I also love like meeting people who are into listening to metal because like I'll tell people like, yeah, I listen to metal, and they're like, that's interesting. Or look at me funny, like I wouldn't expect that from you. Because like while
Yeah.
everybody's listening to say for example, listening to the new Drake album, I'm like, and I don't get me wrong, I like listening to Drake, I like listening to current stuff, but I'm just like I'm still bopping my old stuff too.
For real, I understand. I got into it because like one Guitar Hero, but two like growing up, I had diverse friends. I got diverse friends. I had some
I
friends
love
that listen
that.
to, and we all share. We all like switch music around. You know, if it. I
Mhm.
like all music, as long as it sound. I like beats. I like as long as the beats sound good. I like if I can vibe to it. I like music. I like music.
Period. Yes.
All right, so Miss Sharon, my next question for you is, okay, what would you like? Okay, what is your purpose on so like not your purpose, but what are your intentions? Like, what would you like people to know? Or what is your mission statement for your social media online, your social media presence? What would you like people to know? Like, what are your goals? What are you trying to do? Or show people.
I want people to know that I want people to know that first of all, my page is a safe place, that I do go through my message requests. If it's like if it if it's just like some random guy from another country, I'm like, maybe not. But like, if there are women who are reaching out to me or like asking me questions, like, I want people to feel like my place is a safe place and that I see you, like whoever it is, like I see you messaging me and I respond to like as many people as I can. And two, I want people to feel represented. I want people to feel seen. I want people to feel like, damn, I have like a similar body and like this person's proud of her body. Like why shouldn't I be proud of mine as well? So I want people to feel that want people to feel comfortable. I want people to feel like it's like a start to a self-love journey, or if they're on it, like to continue staying on it, because not everything you see on social media is real. And I do my best, like whenever I make my own content, like the editing I do is like with lighting. That's it though. I don't edit my body. I don't edit like if I say I have like a pimple on my face, like I have a pimple on my face. Like it is what it is. But it's like there is one brand I recently shot and it was more like it wasn't even like a clothing line. It was more let's call it a beauty shoot. We'll say it was like a beauty shoot. And there were like some photos where like my arm was crazy photoshopped. I'm like, that my arm does not look like that. Like it was just so perfectly bent. I'm like, I know that arm. And they definitely didn't even try to hide the fact that they edited it. So I thought it was like really interesting. And so I'm just like, I won't post stuff like that. Things that are heavily edited like that, I absolutely won't.
Man, I've never known. I see, like, I don't know anything about the modeling lifestyle or anything, so I never knew that companies would take your picture and Photoshop it themselves without telling you. I didn't know
Yeah,
that. I thought they would let you know first, but I don't know anything, about modeling.
right.
That's
Right.
that's
And that's
different.
the thing. It's weird because like when you for most brands, like right when you do a shoot with them, like they have the right to your images and they can do like whatever it is that they want to with them. And like they'll Photoshop them and not tell you and market it. And if say it is like something I'm not like content with, like it's to a point where I'm just like, whoa, okay, that is not me. I don't approve like whatever they're trying to do. I had this recently happen to a friend of mine where she did a shoot and she didn't like the outcome of it. Like it was just like not something that aligns with her. Like she's having a meeting with the brand saying like, hey, this is not like what I agreed to. So I haven't come to that point yet, but it was like it's still surprising to me to this day where I'm like, damn, they really had to Photoshop my arm? Like it's still so weird to me, but like it's things like that that I won't post personally on my page. Or if I do, like I'll crop it to where it's just like, okay, that's edited, like no one needs to see that, but like the main focus of the photo.
I understand. I understand. Um, all right. So my next question for you is, how do you feel women are represented in the world?
How do I feel women are represented in the world? I think it really depends because especially with things constantly changing, I think now women, and there's still plenty of work to be done, don't get me wrong, but I think like women are definitely put in a much better light. Like I think women are being better represented. I feel like people are being more seen and more heard, which is again why I do this. And it's really amazing to see like so many different women getting the things that they do deserve, getting the things that they've always wanted and couldn't even dream of when they were younger. So I do see women being put in a better light, although I will say there's still work that needs to be done.
Yes, ma'am. I agree. I agree. Um, my next question for you is, what do you think needs to be changed for women to be treated equally or viewed equally? Take your time. Take your time.
Thank you. I don't even know where to start with that one because I really do believe like there's still so much work. And I'm not just like talking modeling in general, but just like generally speaking, I
This is
feel like
outside.
with
This is modeling included, but outside of modeling, modeling included though. But yes, ma'am. In general, what?
in general,
Yes, ma'am.
mm, it's really hard because I can't. speak for like all the communities of women because there are like different kinds of women who have different experiences, say on set with the way they get treated. And I hear stories from, say, for example, um, I do have models that I work with, black models who tell me things all the time, like they're so afraid makeup artists and hairstylists can't get their like shade right, can't do hair, like they always fear that. So like majority of black models when they go on set, they're like they come with like their hair ready or they come with like bringing their foundation on set because they're not sure if the next makeup artist is going to know what to do with them. And so I can't say that I have that struggle. I will say though, like as far as like my body when I go on set, I will have sometimes clients tell me like, "Oh, that's not a flattering pose. Can you try something else?" Or like if a piece of clothing doesn't fit me the way they were hoping, like it's just like, "Oh yeah, we can't shoot that." It just it just so depends on everybody. But generally speaking, I think it's really hard to say.
No, yeah, that was a great answer. That was a great answer. That was. Um. All right. So my next question for you is: did you have any heroes growing up,
Heroes.
or any people that you looked up to?
I would have to say my mom and my grandma, because when we come into this world, like naturally, our parents are the first people that we meet in this world. So I viewed them as like such tough, independent women who didn't rely on anybody. Like they were just so hardworking and still like my mom, one of the most hardworking women I've known. And even like until this day, I know she still feels a certain way retiring early. Like she retired like right before the pandemic hit actually, and not even by choice. Like she was just so much stuff happened to her she had to. um but just like so hardworking and always pushed me to do the same, to work hard so I wouldn't have to rely on anybody else, but always like at the same time letting me know that they're always there for me no matter what I needed. And I know they worked really hard for me and my brother, did everything they could to support us. And like as far as morals, or like the things that I do know, my grandma taught me, but financially, my mom was definitely holding it down for the house. And my grandma also worked like during the day, but yeah, I would have to say like my mom and my grandma, just because they were just the most hardworking women.
That's awesome. Shout out to your moms and your grandma.
Thank you. Yes.
All right. So, Miss Sharon, my next question for you is: what is your definition of happiness?
My definition of happiness. My definition of happiness is just being able to do what I love. Honestly, like being able to, yeah, it's a rough journey, still is, and I embrace it all. But I think it's like at the end of the day, I get to do what I love, and that's something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. So like this is the happiest I've definitely been, and I love it, and being able to spend it, as corny as it sounds, spend it with my dogs.
That sound like happiness to me.
It is.
Um, what are some of your most proudest accomplishments?
This will definitely have to go back to being able to see my mom's reaction when she saw my photo up in a store, because she would always question like modeling, like what is she doing? And so for her to be able to actually see like, oh my gosh, my daughter's up in a store, like she's actually in the mall where I could like easily go see her, and being able to see my mom's reaction and to have her be proud of what I'm doing, I think is like a major thing for me.
That's awesome. What are your three most favorite books of all time?
Whew. I don't know about three. I can't name three at the top of my head right now, but A New Model by Ashley Graham is definitely one where the fact I read it more than once is amazing because I took away so much from her journey and like what she's been through and what she was willing to share in it. I think like that definitely added fuel to the fire to what I'm doing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What are your three favorite movies of all time?
White Chicks is number one. I love White Chicks. Um, I definitely love Mean Girls, and I love Aladdin.
Yes, ma'am. Those are three great movies. Um, okay. Do you watch Netflix?
Um, Not as much as I used to. I keep getting told I need to watch Squid Game, and I can't get past the first episode. I'm still trying. I'm still trying to get past the first episode because I hear it gets really good. But I'm not on Netflix as much as I used to be. I'm more on HBO Max right now.
Okay. HBO Max. What are you currently watching on HBO
Fresh
Max?
Prince of Bel-Air. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Hands down.
Real.
I think like definitely needing something more lighthearted. Like I could binge it for hours, no problem.
No
Because like I
problem.
just no problem. I'm just dying laughing because like that's exactly what I need. But I should have watched it a long time ago, but I recently saw the reunion and the reunion just, oh, that was heavy. I don't know if you saw the reunion,
I seen it.
but it was just seeing, really seeing what the cast had gone through. Yes, they were like such a close, tight-knit family on set and working with the same people every day for 6 years. Like it's beautiful, it's amazing, but also knowing like what they were really going through behind cameras, like it really, and bringing that to light about 27, 30 years later, it's just so crazy to think like, damn, they really have to suppress all that so they can be here to make everybody else happy and entertain.
For real. I
Hmm.
understand. I understand.
Yeah.
Um, my next question for you is: would you rather go to the beach, to the mountains, or to the desert?
Woo, I would probably have to say the beach.
The beach.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love the mountains every now and then, especially being from NorCal. Like hikes, I loved going on hikes, and I loved going to in Redding, there's this beautiful waterfall, and it's like one of my favorite hikes ever, and it's called Bernie Falls. Like, I love that. But since being able to have easy accessibility to the beach, like hands down, I would go to the beach over anything any day.
Me too. I like the
Mhm.
beach. Um, my next
If you don't,
question. Hmm.
if you don't mind me asking, I wanted to ask you, where do you live? Are you in California or where are you?
Oh no, I'm in North Carolina. I'm down south.
Oh, no
Yeah,
way.
yeah, we far away. But I stayed in my my father was in the military. I stayed in Arizona. I stayed in Fresno. I stayed in LA. I stayed in San Diego, and I stayed in Indio in a small little city called Blythe. But yeah, I've been to the West Coast before, but recently, I'm from down south. That's where I'm from, North Carolina. That's where I'm from.
Wow. That's so crazy because I recently, what branch of the military is your dad in?
Oh, he in Army.
Mhm. Yeah, because my dad, he was in the army like back in the late 70s, early 80s. And he went in right after high school because he was like, I'm not going to college, like F that. So he was in the army and he served about 4 years. And yeah, and I recently like I know somebody too who just did basic training in South Carolina. So that's like so great.
Real. That's what's up.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. I love California though. It's cool. It's fun. It's fun.
Yes.
It's hot. It's hot. It's hot.
NorCal. Sacramento in the summer, it's no joke. Like my mom, she would call me like, Sharon, it's hot. It's like 130 degrees.
And
I
she's
was like,
serious too. It's like that.
It really is. I can't believe I thought that was normal. Like I used to live in that, and now that I'm here, I'm like, worst it got was like 90 maybe, or like 88. I'm just like, no, I can't go back to Sacramento. Mom, I have my reasons.
For real, it's 96 degrees in the shade.
Yeah, yeah.
For real.
If you're lucky.
If you lucky, right? All right. So, my next question for you is, if you had to eat only one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It would probably have to be, it would probably have to be red Thai curry with brown. That is just like, just something about Thai curry hits so different. I'm like, oh my God. It's
Really?
good every time.
Every time. Every time.
Every time. It just hits. Hmm.
Real. All right. So, my next question for you is, who are your three favorite actors or actresses?
Ooh. I love The Rock.
And
He's
his
amazing.
energy drink.
And his energy. Yes, you remember. And his energy drink. Honestly, like that man is like the epitome of like hard work and dedication. He also like inspires me. He's just incredible. Um,
Mm, I love The Rock. I love. So I don't really focus so much on like actors and actresses. Like I think there's so many talented people, but if, like picking favorites, like I can't think of anybody else. Like yeah, I no one else really comes to mind. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I like The Rock too. Yeah, I like The Rock. Especially like recently he been like doing stuff with Kevin Hart. They make a good pair. They make a good pair.
Oh, for
I
sure.
watch everything they do. I don't know. I've been watching The Rock for a long time though. He the man. He the man. He the man.
He really is. He recently came out with a song.
What? I did not hear that.
It's called Face Off. Check it out when we're done.
Ooh, okay. Do you sing?
Do I sing? Okay. So fun fact, back in the day when I did pageants, like when I was a preteen, and there was a talent portion, my mom would always sign me up to sing. And so I wasn't the best singer, but I thought when I was a kid, like, damn, I want to be a famous singer. Like that's all I wanted to do. But I realized, like, yeah, no.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Um. All right. So okay. So can you tell me one fun pageant memory that you have?
I think this was when I was 11 and I was running for Miss Preteen Sacramento way back when. And it's between that because I do remember like myself like crying at the end of it, but whatever, I was 11. But I think like my other favorite one when I was also going for like Miss Teen Sacramento when I was 18. And that was really fun because I met some like really cool people, really yeah, cool people. And I just remember at the end of it, like I told myself, like if I don't win, I really don't care. And at the end of it, all I could think was like, damn, I really want a bucket of fried chicken. That was like the first thought I had in my mind after. I was like, I'm over it and my feet hurt. I want to go home.
That's awesome.
All
All right. So my next question for you is: would you rather go to Hawaii or Alaska?
well, oh, Hawaii, 1,000%.
Would
I
you?
keep like people's trips when they go, like photos whenever they post, and I'm just like, damn, that's like so beautiful. And like, I'm not one for the cold. That's also why I live here. Like, if I were to live in New York, it'd be over for me. I wouldn't be able to do it. But like if I went to Hawaii, absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My next question for you is, would you rather go to England or Canada?
Oh, I think I'd go to England, especially because like my mom, she went to England for nursing school back in the 80s as well. She just like spoke nothing but good about it. She's just like, I loved England. Like if it were up to me, like I would live in England, but she knew like all the opportunities were in America. So like she married my dad to be here, but like she loved England, loved the food, loved the people. She just misses it. So I would probably definitely go there.
Would you rather go to Africa or Jamaica?
That's hard. Um, because I want to travel everywhere, but if I had to choose where I'd go first, it'd probably be Jamaica.
Jamaica. Um, all right, my last one like this is, would you rather go to China or Japan?
Japan. I
Japan.
see, I hear things all the time about Japan, like the touristy stuff you get to do. I remember once when I was 12, I actually had a layover in Japan. And I remember being there, like we didn't know, we thought it was like an overnight airport, so we thought like, oh, we could just sleep on the chairs or whatever, but they were just like, no. But they were so nice, like the hospitality was insane, and they gave us like a hotel for free for the night to stay in.
What?
Yeah,
That's
just
awesome.
so awesome. I was just like, wait, are you serious? Because we generally didn't know, so we're like, oh, we'll just get you like a hotel room. So we got to stay for the night. The view was so beautiful. All the lights, the complimentary breakfast the next day. I'll never forget. Like it's something. It was like a cold soup situation, but with like a raw egg on top. And I just remember that being like some of the best stuff I'd ever had when I was a kid. I was like, this is so good. But even when I came back to America, I was still afraid to eat raw eggs. But like, it was just, yeah, it was really good.
Um, my next question for you is, what is your definition of a leader?
My definition of a leader is somebody who wants to see their team succeed, not somebody that just bosses everybody around, like a boss at work, but a leader who genuinely is like, a leader is also a teacher. A leader is somebody who also is there for their people and genuinely like wants the best for everybody.
That's a great answer. Um, my next question for you is, would you rather win the lottery or would you rather have the perfect job?
I would rather have the perfect job. I would, yeah, like I feel like if even if I won the lottery and had all the money, it's like, okay, what now? Like I want to be able to continue doing what I love. Sustainable, of course, but like being able to do what I love because that's what's fulfilling to me.
Yes, ma'am. Um, if you could go back in time, what year would you go to and what would you do?
Ooh, what would I do? I if I had to go back in time, I think I would go back to when I was I think I would go back to when I was 20 because 20 was a very interesting year. Not that I would change anything, like, I'm a firm believer everything happens the way it's supposed to at the time that it does, like, always for a reason. But, like, I think I would just, like, focus so much more on myself versus, like, oh my God, I really want to have a boyfriend or I really want to date. And because all these people have boyfriends or in relationships, like, I just really wish I would have put more of that time to myself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Um, my next question for you is, if you had to be stranded on an island with five people, who would they be?
Sarah Aobi, my best friend Tina, my other really close friend Cam. Um, I would be on the island with Ashley Graham, of course, and my friend Kyla.
Yes, ma'am. What have been five or three of your most favorite gifts that you received in your lifetime?
Hmm. I think this year definitely like beats everything. Because it was like weeks before my birthday, and my best friend, when I went to go visit my hometown, like weeks before my actual birthday, she put together like a surprise birthday party, which no one had ever done for me. So I thought that was, and it was like, it was small, it was intimate, it was like with really good friends. So that alone was like one of my favorite gifts. Um, what else? My friend Cheryl gave me crystals. I always love getting myself some crystals. Um, yeah, I can't think of it. It's just, and I know this is gonna sound sad,
Oh, that's
probably.
okay.
Like, I don't receive a lot of gifts, and I'm more than okay with it. Like, I love just getting like happy birthday, a Merry Christmas. Like, I'm not a gifty person. Like, for me, it's like the quality time that matters the most. But like, once if someone were to get me things, like, and it's because like it's based off of them knowing me and not just say picking a T-shirt off the rack and saying happy birthday, like that already is just so much. And like, yeah.
For real, I understand. I understand. Um, my next question for you is, okay, do you celebrate Christmas?
I do. I do. I
Okay,
do.
so what if anybody was watching, like a Secret Santa was watching, what are some gifts that you would like to ask for this Christmas?
Ooh. Um.
This is like one of my favorite questions, just to let you know. It's like one of
Really,
my favorite. I like, yeah, what you want for Christmas? You know, Secret Santa. This is my favorite question.
I love that. Just because I don't think about gifting.
Nobody does, you know. Well, not sweet people, you know, kind-hearted people. It's, yeah.
You get it. You get it. Yeah. I don't. Because like I'm also the person like if I want something, I'll just buy it myself. But like if I wanted anything for Christmas, and say it was like not just one person, but if a bunch of people got together to get it for me, it would be a Jeep Wrangler Sahara.
Yeah.
I'll, I'm man, but I really like a Jeep.
Would you have the two-door or the four-door?
Four door. I'm kind of
Four-door.
life. Like I love my car. Don't get me wrong, but I've had a two door for like the last 5 years, and I want to be able to like have my friends with me comfortably, and have a vehicle with more than enough room for my dogs.
For real. Boy, that's awesome. What color would the Jeep be?
Dark gray.
Dark gray. That's cool. You gonna have like big rims on it?
Ooh, I didn't think about all that yet. Maybe like because I was debating on between like the Sahara and the Rubicon, but like I feel like being in the area that I'm in, a Sahara would just make more sense. So I love like how big and heavy phones are, but just like there's no need for me to have that. But yeah, it could have big wheels.
That's awesome. Okay. So in your Jeep, what would if you had neon lights in it, what colors would the lights be?
Mm, neon lights. I could definitely see like blue and just like standard LED color lights.
That's awesome. A gray Jeep with blue lights on them. That's nice. That's nice. I
Me
like
either.
Jeeps too. I like Jeeps. I like all Jeeps. Um,
Right, because I was like in debate with myself. I was like, in the next year, do I want a Jeep or do I want to get a Range Rover? Everybody was saying no to the Range Rover, so I was like, okay, I guess Jeep it is.
what? I
Yeah,
say yes to the Range Rover if those your choice. My parents, they just well, my mama, she got a Range Rover like 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. Hey man, I don't know. I like both of them though. I like both. I couldn't pick. I couldn't pick. That's a hard decision. That's a hard
it
decision. That's a hard decision.
really,
Mm.
really. But I'm hearing horror stories about people's ranges just not working. Like a friend of mine,
Oh.
yeah, my friend of mine sent me
Hmm.
one girl, and she was talking about if you want to get a Range Rover, Land Rover, whatever, she's like, don't do it because of what happened to me. She was driving her car, and out of the middle of nowhere, it just stopped in the middle of an intersection, and so and it wouldn't turn back on, and so she went on this whole thing about like her having to get it fixed and all that stuff. But I keep hearing stories from people like, yeah, ranges are like break down, and I'm just that's
Mm.
scary to think about.
For real. That's man. That's scary on the interstate. Doggone, your car just cut off. Mm.
Mm-mm.
I would have cried.
No, I'm like, a Jeep it is.
For real, Jeep. That's the way. Um, my next question for you is: would you rather have unlimited shoes or unlimited clothes?
Unlimited clothes. Because I feel like if you have the right pairs of shoes, like, don't get me wrong, I love admiring shoes, but if you have the right pairs, like, you can have like staple pairs where versus clothes, like, you could just make it look however you want to.
I agree. I agree. If you could have three superpowers, what superpowers would they be?
I would want to be invisible.
Me
I
too.
would want to teleport.
Me too.
And I want to be like the Flash and run fast. Have,
Huh?
what are your three?
Sure, you said two of them. Teleport. Um, I say
And
teleport. That's my number one superpower. Invisible. That's my second one. That might be my first. And then my last one, shoot. Man, I wish I could know everything. Like, even down to the fact that I wish I could go to any country and speak every language. Like, that's my biggest thing. I'm trying to learn languages right now. I wish I could be very, very smart. If that's a superpower, super strength, super knowledge. I mean, yeah.
you make me want to change mine. Can I change mine?
Yeah, I'm sure you can change it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I think I'm gonna instead of speed,
You
I
can
think
say
I'm gonna.
five. Let's just say you instead of three, say five. That's okay.
Well, you know what they say in school: knowledge is power. So
Mm-hmm.
it can be a superpower.
Awesome. Um, my next question for you is, man, that's cool. You man, I ain't even think about that in a while. My superpowers. One day I'm gonna be able to go invisible. One day that's coming.
What
My next question for you is, oh, okay. So you're always working and always traveling. So what's the longest you've ever been without sleep?
Mm. I think the longest I had been without sleep was almost like 48 hours.
What?
And I remember this specifically last year because I had worked a 12-hour shift. I went home and I had to take care of my dogs. And then from then, I had to go to Big Bear for an athletic wear shoot. And from the athletic wear shoot, because we ended late, I had to go straight back to work and work another 12-hour shift. So then from that shoot, I remember like, yeah, I was exhausted, like I had a headache, but I still had to go and do another shoot later. So it wasn't then like I went home and took a nap, although I thought, my nap wasn't going to be that long, but I overslept and ended up not going to work the following night. So,
Oh man,
yeah,
you was tired though. I understand. I understand.
you do what you got to do sometimes, but I was
Got to,
exhausted.
for real. Um. All right. So my next question for you is, what's your morning and night routine?
my morning routine, I wake up, I walk my dogs, I come back, I freshen up, make sure I put some moisturizer on, I go to the gym. As for my night routine, when I come home from a long day, walk my dogs again, freshen up, make sure they're clean too. Um, Sometimes I'll get takeout. If I have the food already, I'll just like cook something up real quick and end my night with some HBO.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Um,
And a
my
good
say that one more time.
and a good face mask.
And a good face mask for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. For
Oh yeah.
sure. My next question for you is: are you a morning person or a night person?
Night person.
Morning person.
I I want to be a better morning person. Like I want to wake up like all chirpy, and I am excited for the day. I wish I had the ability to wake up at 5 a.m. I don't have that discipline because a lot of my call times will be like at 9, 10, sometimes 1. Like it all depends. But I can't. It's really hard for me to actually get myself to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym that early. It's just doesn't happen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Do you ever paint your nails?
So every now and then it really depends on the job because for me, the last few jobs I've done, like they wanted me to come with like polishless nails, like just absolutely nothing on them. Um, but for the most part, like if I do, it's a nude, just because at least I know I have something neutral for work.
I understand. Um, my next question for you is: what's your go-to color like to wear? Like what color on your outfits make you feel like the best? You know.
Neutrals. Um, it could be gray, it could be like brown or mocha. I like to wear black, but I still like try to steer away from it because I still like other neutral colors. So
Mm-hmm.
I think of like mocha or like different browns. I like wearing browns
That's awesome. Um,
or pink. I like wearing pink.
that's awesome. That's awesome. My next question for you is: okay, if you had a choice, well, if you could only use one perfume for the rest of your life, or one like body spray or body smell, oh yeah, what perfume smell would it be?
Daisy by Marc Jacobs.
Daisy by Marc
The
Jacobs.
Somebody gifted it to me for my birthday a few years ago, and I still have it because I use it so sparingly, just because it's so good. And I'm like, I can't. I try not to use it every day, but if I could, I would.
That's awesome. I've never smelled it, but what does it smell like?
It's just a beautiful balance of floral with a very tiny tad bit of spice.
Mm, that's
It's,
awesome.
maybe I'm describing it wrong, but like you would have to smell it yourself. It's really nice.
That's awesome. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it
Good.
out. My next question for you is: if you could speak three languages, what languages would they be?
Hmm. I think I would want to speak Malay, Spanish, and French.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Um, in the future, do you ever plan on getting married?
No.
Okay. Um, the reason why I asked that, I was gonna. My next question was gonna be, what's your dream proposal? I do apologize,
Oh,
but yeah.
no, no. Like it's something because my mom, I would tell my mom growing up too, like I don't want to get married. Like it's just like for me personally, like I never saw a good outcome out of marriage. Like at least I never saw like from my experience of like marriage working out. So for me to think of that, I'm just like I would just rather not. Like have I thought about it? Yeah, but I like I like being single.
I understand. I understand. Um, my next question for you is: what is the perfect day for you?
Perfect date. Honestly, I would just probably have to say something casual. I would love to like go to an arcade. I would love to just like grab some food and like just get to a place to where I can really like talk to my date and get to know them.
Oh no no no! I said day. I'm sorry, DAY.
Oh, perfect day. I thought you meant
Yeah.
8. My bad. So my perfect day today is actually like, and I'm not just saying it. Today was actually like perfect because I got to take my dogs to the dog park because I literally just found out this morning from a really kind stranger, and he was telling me like there's like a dog park up the street because I was going to go all the way to Silver Lake, and I was just like no way, and so I walked my dogs on over and just being able to let them off their leashes and run around. Like that's the dream. Like I want to have my dream is to have a house where they can run around and be happy. But so doing that, um, having like, even if it's a spontaneous road trip somewhere, not even that far, but say like a little road trip to a beach elsewhere, that would be great. And ending it with just a great dinner with great company.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, so Miss Sharon, I would like to tell you thank you so much for coming on my show. It was an honor to have you here, and I would like to also tell you thank you so much for the professionalism that you've shown before this interview, for as far as me contacting and reaching out to you for this interview. Like everything you did was perfect, and you were always prompting on right messaging right back. I appreciate you. You did. It means a lot. It stands out. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, it's an honor to have you on my show, Miss Sharon. Thank you so much for coming.
But thank you so much for having me. This was great. And like I said, it really was just like chatting with a friend. So being able to have this experience and ask me questions that were kind of like, wow, you really got me thinking. So this was great.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.